I kept my sick son home on Christmas, even though my partner demanded I send him back to his dad's house. My son Jake is 13 and usually stays with his dad most of the time, but he was supposed to spend Christmas week with me and my partner Derek. We also have a 2-year-old daughter together named Lily. 3 days before Christmas, Jake came down with the worst flu I've ever seen. He had a fever of 102, was throwing up every hour, and could barely get out of bed to use the bathroom. The poor kid was miserable, just laying there shivering under 3 blankets while I brought him soup he couldn't keep down. That's when Derek started getting annoyed. He kept making these comments like, "Great, now we're all gonna get sick, and why did this have to happen during our Christmas plans?" I told him kids get sick, it's not Jake's fault, and we just need to take care of him. But Derek had other ideas. He pulled me aside while Jake was sleeping and said I should drive him back to his dad's house so he could be sick there instead. I stared at him like he'd lost his mind. "Derek, he's burning up with fever. I'm not putting a sick kid in a car for an hour drive just so we don't get inconvenienced." But Derek wasn't backing down. He said we had Christmas dinner reservations at this fancy restaurant that cost $200 per person, and his parents were flying in from out of state. He kept saying Jake would be more comfortable at his dad's house anyway, and that his dad was probably better at dealing with sick kids since Jake lived there most of the time. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Then Derek dropped the real bombshell. He said if I didn't take Jake back, we'd have to cancel all our Christmas plans, and his parents would be devastated. He actually said I had to choose between Jake and our real family. That's when I completely lost it. I told Derek that Jake is my real family, and if he had a problem with me taking care of my sick child, then maybe he should go to Christmas dinner by himself. Derek tried to guilt-trip me by saying Lily might catch the flu and end up in the hospital, but I reminded him that toddlers get sick all the time, and we'd deal with it if it happened. He stormed out of the house and didn't come back for 2 hours. When he returned, he had this ultimatum ready. Either Jake goes back to his dad's that night, or Derek was taking Lily to his parents' hotel for Christmas, and I could stay home alone with my sick kid. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Then I guess you better start packing Lily's bag because Jake's not going anywhere." Derek couldn't believe I was choosing my son over him. He kept saying I was being unreasonable and that this would ruin Christmas for everyone. But you know what? Christmas morning was actually perfect. Jake's fever finally broke, and we spent the day watching movies and eating chicken soup. Derek took Lily to his parents' hotel, and they had their fancy dinner without us. When they came back that evening, Derek was sulking, and his parents